You can try to shelter your children from other bad children, but you can't shelter them from the police.
My son is Hispanic and he's a male, which is pretty bad to cops. It's terrifying that he can be incriminated for just the color of his skin, for walking down a block.
We're not talking about like grown men. We're talking about like, 16-year-old, 15-year-old. This is part of what coming to age means in this society for young Black and Latino men, is that you walk down the streets and you're going to be harassed by the police. You're criminalized because of just where you live and what you look like. When you walk the streets, you're a criminal.
I said, that doesn't even make sense though. Because I'm Hispanic with long hair doesn't mean I rob people. I'm going to work right now. I have construction pants on, my jeans are dirty, and they still stop me. I said, I got to call my boss, and it looked embarrassing to me, you know what I mean?
Next thing you know, you three hoes stop. You right out here all in front of their grandmother or your mother, or your little sister might be coming from school and see you get thrown up against the fence, patting you all, going in your pockets.
So there are young people who've grown up in this city who have experienced so much police contact that they fear the police as much, if not more, than people in the community who are criminals.
Because at the end of the day, I was like, what are you frisking me for? Because one time, like I said, I walked out my house, going to the store, asking me for ID. I'm like, what are you asking for ID for? Like, what did I do? What law did I break?
I mean, they see a red coat and they automatically want to think that I'm a hoodlum. But no, I mean, I wear red because that's my favorite color.
Some of the behaviors that get caught up in the stop and frisk are youthful behaviors. And except the youth in some areas get to experience that and still have a life. In the city, in the 5 top stop areas, those kids get swept into the criminal justice system and experience all the negative consequences that come with that, just by virtue of where they live.
I'm going home and then they'll stop me. Oh, you got a bottle. All right, we're gonna take your bottle. I'm like, really? But it's not open, it's sealed, and I'm going home. I got my ID, here's my age. But when it's the other race doing it, they don't say nothing. They just have fun, don't get in trouble. It's nonsense.
All these young men, again, 15, 16 years old when they start getting records. And then when they start getting afraid of having to spend, the rest of their life in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of society is, where that's the future laid out for these teenagers and not even finished high school.
If you look a certain way, and they'll use the excuse like, oh, you fit the description of somebody. That's always that, because if we all look the same, we fit the description.
Van stopped, a couple of cops came out, and they started rushing us, like, get against the wall, get against the wall. Let me know if you have something on you. And it's like, no, we're working. It's obvious we're working. Look, we're in our work outfits. We're all wearing the same thing. We're not a gang that says landscaping across it, so.
You get the impression, well, if they think I've done something wrong, why not do something wrong? Because, yeah, it's not a very pleasant thing to get stopped like that.
Well, it's easy to fall into that category when you're already being seen that way. You're seen as bad and suspicious, and if they want to put you in a box, sometimes it's easier to follow that.
And the harm to young people is real. And I think that's the piece that people are not getting, that because there are young people and they're in disadvantaged communities, we may not be willing to say it is not a good thing for young people to grow up afraid of the police, no matter what benefit we think that we're getting from it.